Hello my lovies, welcome to my first travel journal video. In the last video where we've set up this Traveler's Train, Traveler's Company journal, geez Louise, what a name, we didn't actually journal about the traveling. And now that I've actually been to Italy in Rome in March/April, it's June 18th already, and I'm finally getting around to journal and finish my journal about Rome and Italy. So I thought we'd do it together, and you could also see if this actually is practical to bring with you on a trip, because it is a traveler's notebook. But do we actually use it that way? Let's check it out. So I had this traveler's notebook in my handbag every day we were in Rome. I found it very relaxing to know that I had all of my travel and contact information in here, and I went with my bestie, and I just knew if I lose my phone or something, all of the information of her girlfriend, of her family, my family, like my loved ones, is in here. So even if we lose our phones and forget numbers and important info, it's gonna be in here. And I told you guys when we were setting this baby up, I had a bit of anxiety, and that's why I wanted to bring this. And it did actually help with the anxiety, because I felt super relaxed knowing that I had all of this information in my handbag, literally in my back pocket, if you will. So yeah, I carried it around in the dust bag because, you know, I'm a bit of a neat freak. I wanted to keep this journal, you know, the leather as smooth as possible. I am that kind of way. I like buying something and then keeping it as good as new as long as possible. I know it's like maybe a little insane, but that's just who I am. So yeah, the leather stayed pretty nicely, and I carried it around in my bag. I also fell on my face in the middle of Rome because I didn't place my foot well on the side step on the curb, so I fell. And it's still okay, so I'm really happy about that. So let's do a quick overview. I had this little pouch that I didn't use, and then I had this little craft folder, which I did use, but I used it more in the back. So I had some travel information here, which I really liked. And in the back, I had some double sticky tape, which I also actually used in the hotel room. As you can see, I took some of the strips out, and it was really nice. All right, so I have two notebooks in here. This is my standard travel notebook, and this is like the journal notebook. Okay, so let me explain. This one contains all of the standard information about my family. So I can't show you everything. Let me see. But for example, it has all of my lists of things that I need to bring. It has all of my allergies listed in here. Can I show you my allergies? Yeah, so here is like a list of all of my allergies and things that I cannot eat. So if I get like an allergic reaction and I'm in a foreign country, at least they can figure out what I might have eaten that is trying to kill me. It's because I have a lot of crazy deadly food allergies. And then I also have, like I said, all kinds of lists of things that I need to bring or need to do before I leave my house. And then I also have all of the contact info from my family and friends, just in case something happens. So that is notebook one. That is not like the travel notebook. That is this one. So here's where I actually journaled about my trip to Italy. And so I thought it would be fun to finish this journal with you guys. So I'm going to take this out. And I have to say that having my basic travel notebook here was very helpful because it contained all of the travel information as well from the hotel and all that kinds of stuff. So that was nice to have. And then this one is the one that I actually journaled in when I was in Rome. So this was the flight overview, the hotel that we were in. So I left a page to like really review the hotel. And I also already had some restaurant reviews in here because as we were in Rome, we tried a lot of Italian food, and I couldn't resist to like journal a little bit about it in the hotel because that's what a travel journal is for. And I also really wanted to have like a memory of myself journaling in Italy. So I left a few blank pages, and we had this really cool taxi driver who came to pick us up from the airport to the hotel, and he said go to Alicia Pizza, Gregoli's Pastries, and Fagionito. And I think we went to 2 of his recommendations. So these are really recommendations by locals, and I wrote them down as we got into our hotel because I didn't want to forget the recommendations. So this is why I think a travel journal is actually helpful, because the locals know, right? And if you just try to remember everything, you're gonna forget. Here I actually did some journaling. We didn't have like a desk at the hotel, so I was like journaling on the bed. It was a little uncomfortable, and I already stuck in some receipts from like the first restaurant we went to on the first day. And then I did some more journaling. And I love this about the travel journaling. Like you actually write down what you're experiencing in the moment. And so now that I'm looking back at this, I'm like, what? So cool. And these are already some tickets from the crypt that we went to and a museum. But I haven't really journaled out everything because I also have like, ta-da, like a shit ton of extra receipts. And I got all of these cute pictures that have been laying around on my desk for like months now because I wanted to journal with you guys together, but I haven't got around to it. So let's do it. So I printed these out on my Canon selfie, and so these are some pictures that I took on my iPhone. Then I edited them, and they look great. Just a little for your information notification, I'm gonna switch to voiceover because the summer has hit the Netherlands, which means a lot of people are outside, and apparently no one is able to speak on normal volume again or anymore because they're all yelling and screaming at each other. So to drown out their annoying noises, I'm gonna go voiceover. Just so you know, you might hear a slight change in audio, but we can still do this and make it fun. All right, let's go. Alright, so I thought it would be a good idea to start with pictures because honestly, I've never travel journaled before. So this was quite the bumpy ride because I went from left to right, up to bottom. I just didn't know what to do because I think I made a mistake by already creating sections in this travel journal and not going by chronological events. So next time, I am not gonna prepare pages. I'm just gonna journal as I go because now everything is like jumbled up. But anyway, look at these cute little pictures, these lovely little snapshots that I made with my iPhone. I decided to not bring a DSLR because they're heavy as flip. So I was like, let me just bring my phone and then edit them nicely so that they look really high quality and still still snapshotty enough to make it look like an actual travel journal. And then I finally got to use these stickers that I bought months ago. These are so cute and dainty, and I saved them because they actually had like Rome and Italy stickers in them. So I'm gonna use them in this journal. Yay! And then what I noticed is that these little notebooks kept flipping back in, so they weren't laying flat, so that's why I used the clip. And I thought it was a good idea to use one of these pre-planned pages that I made about a hotel review and to see what kind of aesthetic I wanted to go for because I didn't really know how to like plan this travel journal. It's weird, maybe you're just like, girl, just stick in the pictures and be done with it. But I like creating this whole aesthetic because it helps me process the trip. It helps me create this vibe and feeling that I had when I was actually in that other country. So as I created this page, I was like, yeah, it's kind of cute, but it's not really me. So I was doing a little flip throughs to see where I was at, because as you can tell, I was also like all over the place because I pre-planned some pages and some subjects, which I will not do in my next travel journal, because what I thought of is to get one of these new little notebooks for every trip or every country, so that every country has its own little notebook with its own little snapshots and information and reviews. So here I was trying to create a collage because I love little collages, and I do really like how this one came out, but it's still not really the aesthetic I was going for or that I was looking for, because I didn't know what kind of aesthetic I wanted. But I think it's fun to watch this video because you can see like my evolution in like 3 hours trying to figure out my look and feel, and maybe it gives you some inspiration on what you like in your travel journal. Obviously, I also have a ton of travel stickers that I've been wanting to use for my travel journals. And I was roaming around on Facebook and some lady was ranting her little butt off about the coffeemonsters.co. She was like, why does everyone on YouTube use these bald little creatures in their spreads? And I just looked at the stickers and I realized, oh my god, they're actually bald. For some reason, it never registered in my brain that these little characters are bald. I just see them as little cute big-headed creatures. And I thought it was funny that she was so annoyed by everyone using the coffeemonsters.co, but it's just like a really good character that I think Helen is her name. I think, yeah, she created a really good character that people like. And I do tend to use her stickers sparingly because they are very, very made in a certain aesthetic, and if it doesn't match your spread, I don't use them. But I still really like these bald-headed creatures. They make me smile. They're so cute. Anyway, yeah, I tried all kinds of pens for this travel journal, and I think it's really important to find a pen that you like, because when you travel journal, like, the journaling, aka the writing itself, is obviously the most important part, because you want to be able to read back what you went through and what you experienced and how you felt and whatever. And I noticed that these are fountain pens, or this is a fountain pen, and I really liked how the ink was on the paper, and the paper is good enough to write on with fountain pen ink. However, what is annoying to me about these little notebooks is that they do not lay flat. So that's why I'm using the clip every time, because I was getting annoyed that every time I moved my right hand, the notebook would just try and close back up again. You can see it here in the frame, and it was annoying me. Oh yeah, this is a Muji pen that I bought in Italy. I was like, what? They have a Muji store here? Because they don't have one in the Netherlands. If you don't know, I'm Dutch, so I live in the Netherlands, and I've never seen a Muji store here. So I was like, what? They have a Muji store? Let me get some pens. And I was with one of my best friends, and she was like, girl, why are you, like, this is just a pen. I'm like, no, you don't get it. The whole journaling community talks about these pens. And honestly, it is a pretty good pen, but it's not that impressive. It's not, like, made of gold or anything. But it does have, like, a pretty nice way of writing. It's like this smooth gel pen, and I gotta say, I've been writing with it a lot in my Leuchtturm A5 journal, and it is very nice to write with. As you can tell, I switched aesthetics and I gotta say, I like this aesthetic more and more. I liked boxing the text in. I like the whole minimal feel of just the tickets of the museum and the Cappuccini crypt. And I liked having this very simple style where just the tickets are the main focal point. And so I was flipping through the journal, and you can definitely see all kinds of aesthetics and styles and types. There's like purple fountain pen ink here. Here we've got some, what was it? Apricot colored. And then here I had some pre-planned pages, which I will never do again, because I really messed up with those pre-planned pages because nothing was in like a chronological order anymore. Like now everything is like, it's just a mess. Like I would love to start with like the first day arriving, first breakfast, first dinner, but no, it was a mess. Like my whole journal is not in chronological order, and I cannot tell you how much it annoys me. Anyway, here's a folder of the crypt that we went to, and I brought that along because I know it wouldn't fit into the journal in its like in the whole form, so I just cut it up. And I really like this spread the most. It's very simple with black ink. It's a Sarasa Mark On pen that I use for this. And I just like the simplicity of this little spread. Gotta tell you, this crypt is something that I've only ever seen in documentaries, and then we were suddenly actually there. And it was very impressive, a little depressing, but also very motivating to see these 6 crypts made of human bones from monks that passed away like centuries ago, and then the monks that survived them used the bones to create the crypts. And I really felt when I was walking there like, oh my god, this is all that is left of us when we die. It felt a little depressing, but also very serene and calming, very strange, but it left an impression on me. And I feel like when you see that, you realize how less you really are. Like, you're basically nothing but bones. So while you're alive, get stuff done. So in one way, it's also very, very motivating. And look at this cute little ice cream sticker. I used this to create my first page. This is like, I think, yeah, the first page of the journal. I actually really liked what I did with this first page because it focuses on this Italian building that was in the middle of the city center. So I just added the dates there of the trip, and I like how the picture is the focal point. That is really how many of the buildings in Italy look like, in Rome at least. And just having that first shot of that building really gives you the right feel and vibe. And then as we go through the journal, which is like a mess because I pre-planned. Oh my god, why did I pre-plan? You can definitely see a little story happening there with my first pasta dish, some pages that I wrote in the hotel, so like actually journaled in the moment, and the taxi driver's recommendations. Like, these are the pages that are very rough and raw, but that is like the charm of this travel journal, I think, or any travel journal, is that like the pages that you write in the moment are just like the pages that'll give you that feel and vibe that you had when you were on the trip. And then here's me boxing things in again. I think I just really like this. And this is a picture of me and my bestie. She's on the right. And this was on the airplane before we took off. This was my first airplane ride as an adult. So I was screaming like a 5-year-old. I was like, oh my god, I'm pooping my pants. And like, she laughed. And I'm so grateful that she wanted to take this trip with me, and she really was like my tour guide. She was so sweet and patient with me because I did have some anxiety, like I told you guys. And it was really just a blessing to have a friend who wants to like have you tag along and doesn't, you know, isn't bothered by like your clumsiness as like a first-time traveler. So I'm very grateful to her. I already told her like 5 times, but you know, just like sometimes you meet someone like a friend or a family member or acquaintance that just does something for you that you really appreciate. So I really appreciate this trip. And so on the left we have my first gelato ice cream. Woohoo! That's like the Italian thing to do, right? Get the gelato. And an Italian breakfast, which really caught me off guard because in the hotel, they didn't really have like a healthy breakfast. Everything was with pastries. Like, they even had like chocolate cake. I was like, who eats chocolate cake in the morning? Okay, I do when I'm home because like I want to, but when I have to, I'm like, oh no, this is unhealthy. It was like a real mind fuck, if you will. I was like, I was trying to be healthy, and like the whole breakfast thing was like throwing me off. But honestly, look at this aesthetic though. I love it. That aesthetic, those last 2 pages, that's what I like in my travel journal. So yeah, let's flip through it before we end this video. So this is the first page. Then we have the airplane and hotel information that I stuck in before we left. And I did that because, you know, travel information is handy. Then we have some information about the hotel and our first restaurant review. We went to Taverna del Seminario, I think. That was like really ugly in pronunciation. Excuse me, Italian people. Anyway, and then we have some actual journal pages that were written when we were in Rome, Italy. So I think I treasure these pages the most because they're real and raw. And in all their simplicity, I love them the most. And I also like this page with the tickets and the receipts, and I really like this one. You can definitely see my aesthetic evolve, but yeah, and that's it. I really like it. Also, if you have any travel journal tips for me, definitely let me know, because as you can tell, I am like a total newbie and I think I can do better. But this is my first travel journal, so bear with me. And that's it. This is my first travel journal video. I hope you liked journaling about your travels with me. I mean, this is like the perfect period to like do this because it's June and July, August, and September are coming up. This is like the summer vacay period, and I hope this inspired you to also document your journeys, because honestly, I know a lot of people think it's like normal now that you can travel wherever you want, whenever you want, if you have the money. But I still think it's like magical that we can get into an airplane and fly from the Netherlands to, for example, Rome, Italy in just 2 hours. I mean, we would have to walk for months if we didn't have like cars or airplanes. And I just think, even though for a lot of people traveling is such a like normal thing to do, for me it's still like a luxury thing that I treasure. And so I put a lot of love in this travel journaling, because it's like, I never thought I would be able to do this. Sounds weird because I'm not poor or anything, but still, this was my first vacay in 10 years. And this was my first time on an airplane as an adult, which I also filmed on my YouTube channel. It'll be up next Friday at 7 o'clock at night. So if you want to watch the vlog, go to my vlog channel. It's in the first comment below. And so yeah, I just wanted to share my appreciation for being able to travel, because it wasn't always possible, and documenting it makes it more special, because obviously you want to revisit the memories, the feeling, and the experience. And I hope it inspires you to do the same. So if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, definitely like, subscribe, join the club. We are now with over 1,000 My True Life people that all want to create their true lives through journaling, and you are more than welcome to join us. We're gonna get shit done, baby, including traveling. So thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.